Oh, did we land it this time? Yeah. What was that? That wasn't a kick flip because the board also did like a front flip. Was that a hard flip? Good morning to you all in the land of Satisfactory. Welcome back to another playthrough series episode. In the last episode, we set up our rotor floor in the iron factory. We are bringing in rods from the steel factory over there because we're using the alternate recipe. So we've got this recipe here where we're using 1 ingot to produce 4 iron rods, and it's way more efficient, as you can see. It's a 1:4 ratio than the original recipe. We also get 48 ingots per minute instead of 15. So we have that feeding into these 4 assemblers here making rotors, and just for now while we try to build some inventory, I overclocked these. So instead of 4 per minute, we're producing 10 per minute. And then hopefully we'll be able to build up a little buffer, fill up this buffer that we have here as we saturate the assembly center. What we need to do today, we are going to be using these to make motors. We don't have any motors being made right now. So what I did, if you remember, we had this water extraction area over here in that little pond. That was when we were still using coal power in the good old days. I went ahead and dismantled the pipes that were running through here. What I want to do today is, instead of building up, because this thing is getting really out of hand, I want to build a new floor space here. So it's going to be basically starting on the level of this cliff and expanding out that way as well as that way. So it's going to be a ton of space, and that's where we're going to set up our motors. I mean, this is just to buy us time in the future. I do want to move the assembly center or our main base or whatever out to the water on the west coast, way out there where the sun rises. That should give us a much bigger area to play with, but for now this is going to buy us some time. So that's what we got in store for today's episode. At the end, the reason why I want to get the motors up is because we need them to make some space elevator parts, and that's what I really want to get going in the next few episodes. I want to unlock the last 2 tiers in the game, tiers 7 and 8, and we need all hands on deck for that. We need all parts automated. At the end of the episode, we'll also try to go get some quartz so that we can make our map, because that's going to help us collect more resources around the world. So hope you guys enjoy the episode. If you do, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here, and let's get on with it. Okay, so I think we need to start with our weed whacker, the good old weed whacker tractor, which of course we need motors for. Thank you. All right, weed whacking time. Let's just not drive over the edge. That would be fantastic. Oh, did we land it this time? Yeah. What was that? That wasn't a kick flip because the board also did like a front flip. Was that a hard flip? It might have been a hard flip. Thank you, tractor boy. Let's start with the foundation. And of course, per our building standards, this thing is going to be made out of glass, as per usual. I'm actually thinking if we want it to be on the same grid system, maybe we should start by extending out one of these floors as a template. Let's do that. Oh yeah, forgot. We need our blades on for speed. Man, every time I switch from the jetpack to the blades, I always forget that I can't be jumping off crazy ledges like that. Hello. I'm back. I'm lonely. I need a friend. Please be my friend. I think he's trying to tell us something. What is it, little fella? What is it? Alright, that's a pretty big floor space to work with now. So let's check out this recipe, shall we? Okay, so for the motors, we're gonna be able to produce 5 per minute per assembler, and we need 10 rotors and 10 stators. Wow. We're gonna have to definitely get our rotor production up to meet these demands. And even our stators. I don't know how many stators we're producing per minute. Let's check. So 5 times 4, so we're producing 20 stators per minute. That means we can only support 2 assemblers. That's definitely not gonna fly. Okay, for now I decided we're gonna add 2 more assemblers to make stators, and that'll allow us to support 3 assemblers making motors over here. And I think that's good for now. We don't need too many of the space elevator parts. Let's see actually, which part is it? So we need the modular engines for the space elevator, but we only need 500 of these. That's not a whole lot of motors. We only need 2 per minute for each one. So we'll start with that. Let's expand this. Oh, this game is so rough if you're a perfectionist. I just like spent so much time. How many minutes are we into recording? Holy crap, 25 minutes, and all I did was add 2 assemblers to make stators. Alright, now let's see. Let's make sure we're getting enough parts here. I think this should be a level 2 belt. This is way too slow here. Okay, now we're getting pipes at a normal rate. Yeah, this looks much better. Alright, so we added 2 new assemblers to make our stators, and then we added a buffer. We didn't have one before. And then we're just gonna pull out from this buffer here. I think since we can expand a lot that way, they'll be facing this way, and we'll leave 2 tiles for routing purposes. And we said we can support 3 right now, with some room for expansion in the future. Alright, the splitters are set up. I think we'll bring the stators in on the first level. There we go. So we're pulling from our buffer now, and then let's go get our rotors. Alright, we've got our nice little flow of rotors coming in, slowly but surely. Damn. I see some like rendering flickering going on there. We're just overloaded with parts these days. Too much to render, too much for my computer to handle. Alright, we got a nice stock coming in. Surprised these got here that fast. So, we got that out of the way. We just need to create a little buffer to catch everything, and then we'll move on. Okay, for the first time in this channel's history, we have automated motors in our factory system. Can you believe it took this long? I can't. Now, while we build inventory for that, we are going to use them to build the space elevator parts. It was the modular engine, which is going to require a decent amount of rubber. So we'll probably have to switch some of our plastic production over to rubber in the next episode and start collecting that. Let's see, if we need 500, that's 775, right? No, I can't do math. Let's get the calculator. We need 500 times 15, 7,500 rubber. That's a lot. We definitely don't have that much in storage, so we are going to have to start making some rubber. The other thing that we need is the adaptive control unit, which I think we have plenty of all of these parts, to be honest. We should start some... Actually, we'll do that right now. We're going to set up, since we have the floor space, we're going to set up some manufacturers to make the adaptive control units. Because I'm sure it's going to take us a while to accumulate all of them. I have no idea how many we need of those. We'll go check it out in a second. Okay, we only need 100 of these. That's not bad at all. We only need 100. I mean, we could do that pretty quickly if we set up, you know, 5 of these manufacturers or so. So let's do that up here. And rather than building a whole manufacturing line, I'm just gonna set them up and then feed in the parts manually. Probably through some boxes, some storage boxes or something. So let's queue up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we need a lot of plastic. Should have plenty of plastic though. There we go. And motors, which are being produced right now. We're gonna go grab some cable, get all the good stuff. Okay, we got our cable. We need heavy modular frames. I forget what floor those are on. Somewhere near the top though. So we got that and the motors. Only need 3 more. Boom. Okay, so let's set up our manufacturers. These giant machines. Man, routing for these things is going to be a nightmare as usual. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4. We've already taken up this much space. I don't think we left ourselves enough room. Oh god. Yeah, we're gonna have to move these up. Well, that was a rookie mistake. Okay, round 2. Fight. We're gonna give ourselves a lot of space this time, okay? Alright, there should be plenty of room for routing. Look, Mom, I did something cool. This is actually kind of a to set up, but it's pretty efficient and clean. It just requires laying out a ton of these and then deconstructing the ones underneath. I guess it's worth it. Okay, it's all laid out. This is really cool. I'm happy with this. We got a whole freeway system of belts over here on 4 different levels. Looks super clean. Just need to hook these up to power, and then we're gonna hook up some storage boxes where we're just gonna move some materials into. So we are gonna make the ACUs in here, adaptive control units. Alright, so we're just grabbing some parts to throw into our boxes. Everything's hooked up now, and power's connected as well. We've got the computers, the heavy modular frames, the automated wiring, and the last thing we need are the circuit boards. So let's go grab that. See, the other 3 are starting to be fed in. Very nice, very nice. We are gonna have to steal some circuit board supply from our manufacturers, but that's okay because they're limited by plastic anyway. Not a big deal. And we already have more than enough computers. So here we go. This is the last thing that we need. Oh, there it is. It's being fed. So this is going to be our first adaptive control unit, and these things are going to take a while. We could overclock them, but don't think we need to. We're using the automated wiring the most. Also the circuit boards. We only need 100 of these. So that's 500 circuit boards that we would need. Let's see how many we only fed in like... Oh yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so I think we're good. But yeah, there you go. We should have that done by the next episode. We are now producing the adaptive control unit. We didn't get to, you know what, in the last episode I said I was gonna go get the quartz. In this episode I said I was gonna go get the quartz, and by now you should know that I say things and don't always carry through, and I blame it on the game. It's too easy to get distracted. But we are making progress on another front, which is always a good thing. We've got adaptive control units automated now, and then we'll go ahead and switch to the modular engine in the next episode. As soon as we finish the adaptive control units, we are gonna have to go to our refinery site to switch all our plastic production over to rubber. Yeah, we have that to look forward to in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like, you know what to do, and subscribe if you're new here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.